Hi, I'm Skilla, and this is Nerd Stuff with Skilla, and today I want to talk about episode 8 of American Horror Story Cult. This episode is called The Winter of Our Discontent, which I thought was really cool. This episode was absolutely crazy. Start to finish, insanity. And if you have not seen this episode, I urge you to go and watch it right now, and then come back and watch this video. You do not want to get spoiled on anything that happens here, because it's crazy. To start the episode, we find out that Vinny does not know about the cult. Now, he delivers a line in this little scene where he's just like, and I didn't know anything about all of this all along. Great job, little brother. And you're like, oh, we get it. He didn't know. This is an awkwardly delivered line. Okay, that aside, he talks to Kai a little bit, and you can kind of see that he's getting suspicious of how things are going in Kai's mind. He is that therapist. He tells his brother to start calling him councilman. And I was like, man. And we know that Vincent is like, he's just not that good of a dude. Like, even though he's not evil, he's not that good of a dude. He did not go and visit his brother at the hospital. He just wants nothing to do with the craziness between him and Winter. And he isn't even aware of how insane it is. He just doesn't want to really be publicly associated with them because of things that they might do. We're back at the butchery, and Beverly and Winter and Ivy are all working in the kitchen, and they're getting like harassed by the blue shirts that are outside. They're just filling the entire dining area. They're mad about the food that they're giving them. They're saying inappropriate things to the ladies, and they go back to the kitchen, and Beverly's like, we need to cut off the head of the steak. And Winter's like, no, he'll change. You don't understand. We went through this insane ordeal together, aside from our parents being kept in a bedroom next to his while they're dead. Kai and Winter were hanging out, trolling people on the internet when they get an invitation to a judgment house. Now, if you don't know what a judgment house is, it's like a haunted house that you do during October, but it's geared towards showing people all of the bad stuff that's going to happen to them due to their sins during life lacking repentance. These things are real. This is an actual phenomenon. There are actually 10 different judgment houses in Alabama where I live right now that I can go to, maybe not right now, but tomorrow if I want to. You can just go to judgmenthouse.org and you can find all the judgment houses in your area if you want to scare your children's asses into pews. This guy named Pastor Charles, I believe, is played by Rick Springfield of Jesse's Girl fame. And he has set up all of these insane jigsaw-style rooms, punishing people for their perceived sins and killing them in front of whoever he decides to walk through his judgment house. And the people who he's invited over are Kai and Winter, and they aren't liking it. Like, they're upset about it, and they're trying to save the people, and eventually they do, and they kill that dude. But it changes Kai forever. This is the event that made Kai dye his hair blue, adopt a new persona. We do have more storytelling with hair color, seeing exactly what's going on at different points in time as far as Kai's transformation is concerned. We know that him and Ghost Hair have been associated for quite some time, because we find out that Kai used to sell his brother's prescription notes to kids so that they can go get the drugs that they want, and then Ghost Hair shows up, threatens him, and starts charging him for protection. And Kai comes over to his house and he drops some money for him, and he overhears Ghost Hair in there banging some lady, or trying to, and he can't actually get the blood flowing in the right way. So unless he is being physically violent towards the lady or being sexually dominant, and she is not down with that, which is where the problems occur. And Kai goes in and convinces him that he should start taking it in the exit, and he's like, okay. He's like, I'm not gay, but totally do that. And now he can't get any type of arousal from naked ladies anymore, which is fine. But he denies that he's gay for some reason. Like, I didn't know this whole time that him and Harrison were banging that he was also telling people he wasn't gay. Aly is out of her little psychiatric vacation, and Dr. Vincent shows up at her house, and he's like, hey man, totally believe all those things you said. And she's like, how? Why? What changed your mind? And he goes, Kai's my brother. She's like, oh, I don't trust you. I hate you. You ruined my life. I'm going to have your license revoked. And she's very upset, and he tells her that he's going to do anything he can to get Oz back to her. He tells her that he would get Kai committed if that's what it took. And the scene ends with them hugging. Then we see Kai talk Winter into the most insane threesome I have ever heard proposed. He's like, we need to have a Messiah baby, and in order to get that done, we need to have some kind of entrance into you. And she's like, we can't do that. You're my brother. What are you suggesting? He's like, no, it's nothing weird like that. I'm gonna have Officer Ghost Hair enter you, and then I'll enter him, and then it'll be the threesome which forces the new Messiah to come into the world. And she agrees to this. And the funniest scene in the episode is actually her and Ghost Hair sitting there on the couch in their weird ceremonial robes, and it was so disturbing, so gross, and still funny at some points. Ghost Hair, needless to say, can't get it up. Who could? Winter runs away from the situation. And then Kai punishes her by putting a dunce cap on her head and having her re-litter areas because he doesn't believe in global warming. And even if you don't believe in global warming, please don't re-litter. It's still not good for other things. It's still not good for your area, and everything looks crappy, so why would you want to do that? But it's just to drive a point home, really, because we're still drawing correlations between the current administration and the character of Kai. It's during this that Officer Ghost Hair shows up, and he brings her more trash, and then he reveals his whole backstory. And then she's like, we should question what Kai does. Why are you not on that bandwagon yet with what you just witnessed? And he proceeds to try and rape her, and she pulls a gun out, and she murders him right then and there. And I was like, yes, get him, girl. And later on, she lies to Kai and tells him that Beverly showed up and did that. I don't think that happened. I don't think there's really going to be any discussion about which one of those versions of the story were the truth, because, come on, definitely Winter did that. I don't see a scenario in which people think that the opposite is true. Side note, if you ever have an adult encounter that's so good that you are thinking about joining a cult, run. Or make Tom Cruise watch this season of American Horror Story. Either way, you're going to get your point across, but don't go back to that. That's no good for you. That's some dangerous D, and you don't need that. Final scene of the episode, Kai brings in two sacrifices, and one of them is Vincent, and one of them is Beverly, and he starts having this conversation with Vincent that seems like maybe he's going to let him go. Obviously he wasn't. And they have a little pinky power session because Kai's reminding him that he taught him that. And then Kai cuts Vincent's finger off and then kills him, like almost symbolically showing you that all trust and honesty is gone, because that's what that whole ceremony stands for. And I think that it really broke Winter, because honestly, Vincent's probably one of the few people who would make Winter feel safe in this world now that her parents are both gone. You know, everything that she believes in is being shattered in front of her eyes in this moment, and I am ready to see Winter's discontent in the next episode. Even though we got a taster for this episode, I think it's going to be even more intense next episode, especially when this whole like drinking the Kool-Aid situation happens. I don't even know. It looks insane. I was hoping we would get flashbacks where Kai was those other serial killers, but I just don't see the space for it. The whole pinky power thing has always reminded me of Scientology. That might just be because of the massive amounts of Scientology related content that I've been consuming over the last few weeks at lightning speed. I think that there's a parallel there, and I think that if Ryan Murphy is trying to make that parallel, good job for him, because it's not everybody in Hollywood who actually wants to say something about this awful situation. You know, if you don't know about it, look into it. I don't want to spoil the operating theme level 3 materials for you, but it's comparable to an American Horror Story twist. You just don't see it coming. Then he locks Beverly into solitary confinement, and I'm sure we'll find out what exactly that entails in the near future. And I'm sure it's going to be horrifying. There's no way it's a good situation for Beverly unless he's holding her for information. Maybe they got some other kind of side deal going on and she's just a great actress, but I don't think that's happening. I think she's in solitary and things are going to get messed up. All the old masks are now worn by new people. The masks that are worn by characters who are no longer with us. So we find out, we see some new faces, but the face that we do recognize underneath the satanic mask that Beverly had is our girl Aly. She stopped crying and she joined a cult. I am not convinced at this point that Aly is actually in the cult. I'm sure she wants everybody to believe that, but her goal is to get her kid back. And she's going to do whatever it takes to get the kid back. Goal number 2 is to get Kai's ass in jail or on a different spiritual plane. I really don't believe that she's completely down with the clown at this point. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I don't see that being a reality, especially since Vincent wasn't in it, but now he's dead. So Aly is the only person, aside from Winter or Ivy, I guess, or I don't know. They'd have to do... We'll see. We'll just see what happens. I thought this episode was insane. There were only a couple of things that I could nitpick at all. And overall, like, I just was sitting there riveted through the whole episode. There was so much crazy stuff happening. You know, sometimes it's cut together in kind of choppy-ish ways, like the way that they do all these reveals at the end of the season. And we know we had 2 major character deaths this episode. But I was really entertained. I was really entertained. Some of the lines were not perfect or exactly how I would have written them. But this episode, if you were not entertained, you were asleep. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments how you think Kai will be taken down, or if you think he will be taken down. I really don't know at this point which way it'll go, but I can't wait to find out. Subscribe if you want to hear about more nerdy stuff from me. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.